The Stool and the Towel is the title of a book which sums up the message of an Italian bishop, Tony Bello, who died of cancer at the age of 58. On Holy Thursday of 1993, while on his deathbed, he dictated a pastoral letter to the priests of his diocese. He called upon them to be bound by the stole and the towel. The stole symbolizes union with Christ in the Eucharist, and the towel symbolizes union with humanity by service. The priest is called upon to be united with the Lord in the Eucharist and with the people as their servant. Today, we celebrate the institution of both the Eucharist and the priesthood, the feast of the stole and the towel, the feast of love and service. We gather on this night, year after year, to reenact the scene of Jesus, the washing the feet of his disciples. The priest gets down on his knees and takes the feet of the parishioners in his hands, washing them and drying them. I would guess that most people who are designed to have their feet washed have already done so prior to Mass, and probably more meticulously than usual. So what is this ritual about if our nails are trimmed and our feet are already cleaned and applied with lotion? After Jesus had finished washing the feet of his disciples, he said, I have given you a model to follow, so that as I have done for you, you should also do. We do this every year in obedience to his command. I would say that obedience runs deeper than a yearly reenactment. Obedience is a matter of hearing and acting in accordance with what we hear. But obedience in the biblical sense is also a matter of disposition. We become disposed to hearing God's word and doing as God desires as a way of life. When Jesus washes the feet of his followers, he is demonstrating in this simple show that he is kneeling before another person's need. He is demonstrating that the simple act of hospitality in a Middle Eastern home is not beneath him, but actually captures his purpose: to be of service, willingly, humbly, and wholeheartedly. He expects that his example will become a way of life for us, not simply a yearly ritual. If I, the master and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash one another's feet. This one holy night of our Triduum is intended to set the pattern for a life of serving God by serving others willingly, humbly, and wholeheartedly. The foot washing pattern is core to what it means to be a disciple And it applies to each and every one of us. The fact that our priest washes the feet of parishioners is also meant to remind the priest and the congregation that priesthood is about service, not power. It is about humility, not pride. Speaking of pride, let us turn to that observation about how clean our feet already are, when we know that they will be washed and handled for the entire parish to see. I wonder if some of our vanity around this is because our feet are not exactly beautiful to begin with. By the time we are adults, we have bunions and calluses, and our toes are misshapen by arthritis. Our feet are one of body's most hard-working parts. And there is the rub. Being a disciple is a hard work. The disciples had the roads dust washed off of them so they could sit together and share a meal. But their feet were also being prepared to get back on the road, to follow Jesus to the cross. And then, after a time of mourning and confusion, to go out into the world. Where will our feet take us? To prepare a meal for a family, caring for a sick child. To sit with a friend while awaiting the results of a medical test. To repair a leaky pipe for an elderly neighbor. To carry a message about justice to a local legislator. To pick up a recently widowed friend and take her to concert. These are the normal events of our lives, and they require that we do more than have good intentions. We need our feet to turn our intention into action and be instruments of God's grace in loving and serving others willingly, humbly, and wholeheartedly. Let the stole and the towel remain of love and service.